Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there's having a good day, y'all. We ain't messing up the intro today. Let's have some fun, y'all. We got over an hour banger for your beautiful Tuesday. Hope you guys enjoy it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
To move to Japan. They're actually encouraging people to move to Japan.
Bro, I saw a YouTube video on that. This
Yeah.
dude was, I think he moved from like LA or somewhere in California, and for like 110 grand, he got like an acre and a half or something like that, or more maybe.
But Japan is experiencing population collapse.
What?
Yeah, they're not having kids at a replacement rate. So replacement rate means like if there's two parents, you should have like 3 or more kids. Like you have, if you're trying to replace the people that are here, when you think about how many people are going to die of old age, how many people are going to die, how many people are going to live, how does the population sustain itself over the course of the next X amount of generations? Well, you have to have a high replacement rate. And right now, Japan has a very low replacement rate. Like it's spooky low. We're at the point where they're in a panic and they're trying to figure out how to encourage people to move to Japan, how to get people in Japan to have kids.
Oh, because there's like
A lot of incels, though.
yeah,
That's what it is.
But
Yeah.
no, what I'm saying is like they're. I mean, that's got to be kind of scary because if they're not replacing people, that means like fucking jobs won't get.
Not just
replaced too.
jobs. The country's gonna go. There won't be any people left.
What do you mean? I mean, there would just be way less people, but it's not like they're gonna all disappear.
Well, they'll all die off, and if they don't have kids,
I'm worried
that's
about
it.
like who's gonna fucking farm and take care of the animals and shit.
Yeah, well, there's gonna be less of that too. But they're probably the people that will have kids, is the farmers and the rural people. But what is Japan's replacement rate? It's very low, right, James?
Our replacement
Nasty.
rate, we're all right, right? We're not getting knocked up like crazy.
A little weird too.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're in a weird situation too.
I feel like
So there's
all
a
my
lot of
friends
people
knocked
here?
up their girlfriends already.
Well, that's good. That's nice. There's a lot of people here, and there's a lot more people aren't having kids than have ever before. It's different. We're not in danger, but like South Korea is in danger. Like South Korea, the replacement rate is really bad. Yeah, I think it's something crazy. Like how many people that are alive today will have grandchildren, and it's very small.
Why are so many tattoo artists quitting all of a sudden? Is it the money? Is it something deeper? Let's talk about it. Lately, I've been noticing more and more shops closing, reputable artists quitting, they're moving on to different careers. People who once loved tattooing have completely fallen out of love with the industry. I've got my own theories. I opened my first shop in 2010, and back then, supply and demand was very different. You couldn't just order a tattoo kit online. Suppliers only sold to licensed shops, and they even called to confirm that you actually worked under that shop. Apprenticeships is a big one. They were earned, they weren't handed out. Now, the market's wide open. Anyone could get equipment, and there are more artists than ever before. But more artists doesn't always mean more quality or more work. Clients now have endless amounts of options, and the battle is often over pricing and not the artistry. Is this why a lot of people are quitting? Oversaturation, burnout, bad ethics maybe? Or is this just the new reality of chasing an art career in today's world? Now, let's not talk badly about this generation and that generation and get into that talk. Because let's be real, the new generation of tattooers has opened the door for the artistry to get where it's at today. These new artists have taken things to the next level, and if you can't keep up, then you're gonna fall behind. If you're an artist, tell me why you think people are walking away from the industry. And if you're a client, tell me this. Why do you choose your artist over everyone else? Let's get a real conversation going in the comments, especially from a client's point of view. This would create insight from a client's perspective on what we might be lacking as tattooers, which are leading people to go elsewhere. And maybe that's why tattooers are quitting. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think.
I mean, it could just be a fad, right? Tattoos were hot with the millennials. Maybe the next generations just ain't really into tattoos as much as, I mean, the millennials are. Because you got to realize millennials, let's be honest, we looked up. We were like the last generation to like look up to these celebrities, look up to these rappers, look up to these movie stars because there was no social media. Now there's social media. So people ain't really looking up to these people no more. That's why album sales are dropping. That's why movies are dropping. That's why when politicians get these celebrities, it's just not working no more. Maybe that could be why. It's just tattooing. These kids nowadays aren't really getting tattooed as much. I don't know. What do you think? I know I got 2 nieces that are at that age, 18, 22. They don't have a tattoo at all. So is that what it is?
Peace.
How do they get in? You know, a couple of things. One is wounds, trauma. Another
shit
is
was chunky.
the
Hope I don't
physical
get sick.
trauma, psychological trauma.
Psychological trauma.
Psychological trauma. Yeah, psychological trauma. They feed off those wounds, their vulnerabilities, and of course the demon enters through sin. And as I put it in the book, the demon enters through sin, but he holds in heresies, believe it or not, even in false beliefs, he can hold on those heresies. We always see that. So, but it's usually some psychological trauma, or sin, deep, especially grave sin. Even especially the really wicked sins. In our experience, we've seen that has diabolic accompaniment.
What is that?
There's a demon present.
What's an extreme sin?
Incest, sexual trauma, sexual abuse, rape, that sort of thing.
What is the demon's goal?
Take you to hell.
Well, there's lots of sinners. Why do they pick these specific people? I mean, what are some of the people that we were talking about? Abramovich. I mean, is she possessed? Or
Well, I mean, I think if you're working specifically in that field, you're probably uncontestedly possessed. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
But they're working on all of us. Father Morth, I think I mentioned earlier, the demon told him, if you could see our numbers, we would darken the sun. My name is Legion, for we are many. So they're just constantly whittling away, working at it through perception. That's why I think you got to watch Nefarious, because you start to see diabolic psychology, the way he whittles away, what he's looking for, the vulnerabilities he's looking at. But he has no rights. That's what he's going to say. I have a right to you. No, you don't. If you're baptized by right, your soul belongs to Jesus Christ. That's it. But he takes permissions, If you give him permissions to behaviors, he'll take that. And that will be his entry point. That make sense?
Kind of.
Yeah.
By giving him permissions, you mean by
Your actions.
acting on temptation?
Yeah. Sinful behavior. Yeah.
The 10,000 Roman soldiers that disappeared. 53 BC, Marcus Crassus, who was leading this Roman front, he brought 48 to 50,000 soldiers to fight the Parthians. They got completely demolished, and there was 10,000 elite legionnaires that survived this battle, but they never returned back to Rome, and everyone in Rome had no idea what happened to them. But what's crazy is that to this day, there is a small village in China. People living in this village have features that resemble people from Italy. Chinese records during the Han Dynasty, they talk about how the Chinese fought this group of pale soldiers 20 years after. The story is that after this battle, they just decided to take off and form their own legion, fought the Chinese, and apparently established a village and lived out their days there.
Could they not return to Rome because they would have been dishonored?
But that's the thing, like, who knows? Like, what if it's like, hey, after this, whoever survives, we're leaving. There could have been a million things that were happening behind the scenes that we have no idea about.
10,000 guys.
That's crazy.
The Rockefellers don't run America. It's the Collins family. The District of Columbia. It's not a state, right? It's a district of Columbia. The Knights of Columbus. Columbia Pictures. And the list goes on. You're Mexican. You know his real name. It's not Columbus. It's Cristobal Colon, which has a Jewish ancestry of the Cohens, the priest class. They are the royal Spanish family that brought the Inquisition over to America. Hence, the Mexican flag is exactly the same as the Italian flag. Funny, but the Mexicans added the Italian Roman eagle because, you see, when the Vatican came over and corporately took over the Americas, they put their precious Italian flag right in the middle of North America and South America, Mexico. Well, why would you do that? Now, why would the Vatican do that and bring the Spanish Inquisition over and kill a lot of Mayans and burn their buildings and, yeah... We've got a lot of questions to ask here now, haven't we?
After 2 decades of research and studying the topics that I'm not allowed to speak in public, I decided to share my knowledge and reveal the hidden truth. Check the link in the profile bio.
The older I get, the more I start to realize gangster rap music ruined black culture. Like, don't get me wrong, there's other genres of music that did destructive things to their communities, but not in the way gangster rap did to the black community. And I'm gonna explain. So like rock and roll and all like that heavy metal type of music, it definitely got a lot of young kids, especially white kids, to be more reckless. It was like a gateway to drugs and things like that. And that's self-destructive. But it's like essentially self-destructive. Like the people that buy into that, they might fuck up themselves. But when it comes to gangster music, bro, that shit fucks up people who don't even partake in it. Because once you have a community of people that are being raised to think that being a gangster is something to glorify and aspire to be, they end up basically tormenting their whole community. You could be a nerd in that community. You could be an older person in that community. You could just be somebody minding their damn business and you can be robbed, shot, like all types of crimes can be committed on you, all because the music is perpetuating a certain mentality and lifestyle. And now I really understand why like older black people really hate rap. You know what I mean? Like now there's obviously some versions of rap that's more hustler centric or that focus on different elements. Like, you know, the Tyler, the Creators, these type of people, they don't make rap music that's really like super just horrible for like the growth of our community. But all that shit, the shit that I even like sometimes, like, you know, the Gucci Mane and shit, they really perpetuated a lot of bullshit. Like kids growing up wanting to be Lil Durk and shit like that, and these people talk about sliding and murders. As I get older, I realize, yo, this shit is not the way at all. At all. It seems harmless when you're a kid, but, you know, I'm 34 now. And I can see how much damage this shit's done. And I can see why a lot of people aren't able to overcome it. Yeah, bro. It's crazy.
And then what's crazy is these rappers aren't even living the life that they're leading people down, right? These rappers, their kids ain't going to public school. Their kids are going to, you know, private school. They're living in mansions. They're hanging out with the kids in that rich neighborhood. They're not over there. You know what I mean? And you see a lot of interviews with these rappers from the 90s that say, you know, we weren't really like living that. We were just, you know, making money at the end of the day. So they led a whole generation of people to hell pretty much. And they weren't even living that life, which is a mind trip.
Lakes on the old maps from the 1500s, bro, and it got me thinking about things very differently. Because if y'all know the World War, this is a part of Shalaga, the old Chicago, before any Christopher Columbus set his stankin' ass feet fallacy story on the lands of America. This been here, bro, built by a civilization that got killed off. The Dreamer, bro, he showed this map of old Shalaga, right? A lot of these lands, the way they were connected, a lot of shit has shifted, bro. That's because they bombed the fucking land. We went through a frequency war like that. Reset, it was more than just spiritual. It was physical too, but we know spiritual and physical is the same thing. But when you see these lakes, like think about Lake Lanier, that was a town. So if they can do that on a small level of just a town and resetting black history, what do you think they did to world history, bro? They blew up fucking cities. And now they're oceans. They blew up lakes and now they're seas. Or they blew up, you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? They blew up and reset the land. When you hear things like mud, or things got flooded out, when you hear things like mud flood, when you can dig up a building that was dipped under the ground several stories feet, and you can say, oh, well, you have to set a foundation, you got to dig underground. Yeah, 2 stories, 3 stories maybe, but when you got buildings that go fucking 20 stories down underground, and you see this type of shit when you start going to Boston, New York, like, y'all go to fucking Boston, bro, you gonna be like, this is not America, what the fuck? Like, I was born in California, bro. Like, the fact that America is this vast, we have this much shit in our backyard. I'm about to take a trip too this weekend, and in a couple days, and I'm gonna be exploring the Tartarian buildings there too, but it's a secret. Y'all go to my I See Tartaria page. It's gonna be in my
BET Hip Hop Awards has been suspended indefinitely along with the Soul Train Awards immediately. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I knew it was desperation time when they basically was trying to just give Kai Cenat the show. When you have to call on the streamers to try to get a ratings boost. By the way, I'm not blaming nothing on Kai. I love Kai. I'm trying to say that BT got so desperate, they said all the eyeballs are on streamers. Let's bring the streamers to take over our award show to gain more visibility on TV. But I keep telling y'all, we'll watch Kai Cenat stream. We're not turning on BET on television. So let's see their ratings. BET Awards ratings 2025.
Shit.
So even with the Kai Cenat experiment, their ratings was still down. It was down 36%. So despite them thinking that, oh, we were going to go up, they still went down. Award shows are ran like this. Usually it's the biggest advertising spend for their partners. So they'll get McDonald's to commit maybe $800,000 just for that 2-3 block hour. They'll get Sprite to commit whatever. And they're going to offset it with the amount that they have to spend because an award show, it's not cheap. You got to do a lot. And then they look at the profit. Clearly, over time, because their shit is failing, the money's going down, they're not profiting as much, and now they've canceled it. Now, I'm going to take this opportunity to be a little bit petty. Once I seen in 2023, they gave the best hip-hop platform to Carisha Please when they dropped one episode. I said, these people are fucking clueless. These people are obsolete. These people are not cultural, and these people are ignorant to what's actually moving the needle.
Can we keep it real in saying that, you know, most of these people who are content creators, you know what I'm saying, you know, people go out in public and record people, rage baiters, these are all geeky ass, weird ass people. I don't give a fuck from Neon to all them niggas. They all geeky, weird ass motherfuckers, bro. Weird. And then the crazy thing is, y'all be believing the character that they display. Like Neon. Motherfuckers think he's really like that. No, I'm a person, bro. No, bro. Like, people really think that's Neon, bro. Like, people can't see through shit anymore. And that bothers me. That bothers me. Like, the niggas that was following B. Simone. Can't stand B. Simone, by the way. But still, leave Shotty alone, bro. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn. She literally just said, y'all put me on camera, I don't want to be recorded. Y'all follow her all outside, bro, trying to act like you don't know who that is. But he working hard for some clicks. What? Who is that, bro? Who is? They literally keep saying B. Simone, Who is that, bro? I don't know who, bro. What? Then, soon as he comes to, oh, it is B. Simone. Oh, didn't she was going out with the baby, right? Nigga, you knew who that was the whole time. So lame at like. Bro, people are attracted to some very lame shit nowadays, fool.
It really does trip me out how these people get so much views and it's not real. Like, it's all act. Especially these people that go out and play pranks on people. Like, the ones that are real are the ones that get shot, are the ones that get beat the hell up because they see these other ones and they think they're being real when they're all actors. They're all TikTokers and they're all making content together. And then you see like an average Joe over here being like, damn, I'm gonna go out there in public and do that, not knowing, I don't know how, that's not legit. It's all fake. And then he goes out there and tries to prank somebody and ends up getting shot. It really baffles me. Even some of these reactions that people do these, I'm like, what? How are they getting 300,000 views? Like, it's so corny and cringy when I watch it. Like, it's so like not authentic. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a hater. Maybe I need to be less authentic, you know, and make a character. I don't know, but it just trips me out. I don't have that in me. Like, I've tried it. I've tried to be corny. I just can't do it, y'all. But they're the ones that get the views, and it really trips me out, y'all. It trips me out.
Breaking news on, of all people, Marilyn Monroe. Now, the man who autopsied Marilyn says the official story is wrong, and for 60 years he wasn't allowed to tell the truth. Dr. Thomas Taguchi was just 35 years old when he was assigned to examine the body of the most famous woman in the world. She was found nude, face down, her hand still resting on the phone, and the official cause of death was listed as probable taking her own life from sleeping pills. But Dr. Noguchi says that never added up, and here were the first red flags. He was brand new, still on probation, and somehow he got handed this massive celebrity case. Not the chief coroner, not even a senior pathologist. But he did the autopsy professionally, and what he found was interesting. And what he didn't find was even more interesting. Now, what he found were fatal levels of barbiturates in her blood, but what he didn't find were any pills, not even pill residue in her stomach. There were also no needle marks anywhere on her body, despite conspiracy theories that you might have heard. And then get this, the toxicology lab decided not to test her organs further. They destroyed the samples before any follow-up could happen. Dr. Noguchi wanted more tests. He had questions, but he was silenced. And look, I know that you guys are wondering how old Dr. Noguchi is, given the fact that this happened so long ago. But this is him, and at 98 years old, he's finally speaking out because what does he have to lose? So what was it? Did she take her own life, or was she silenced? Make sure to follow and let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to check out my Substack where the full breakdown is already up. This one runs deeper than we were ever told, y'all.
Check out these Walmart drones. They got about a 6-mile radius. And they have a bunch of them. This is called Walmart Wing. When I tell you drones get licensed, it's happening already. These guys sit in this trailer with no air conditioning and fly these drones in those little packages you see right there within a 6-mile radius all day long. So small deliveries that used to be done by a driver are no longer being done. There goes another one. It's dropping a little string.
Crazy times we're living in.
The package. And off it goes. This is being tested in the DFW, but they say it's going nationwide. Walmart pays them an hourly wage. DoorDash is also doing this in the DFW.
Well, there goes the drivers.
Let's see if it takes off and how fast it takes off.
Within 2 or 3 years,
Gotta get to, I guess,
drivers
a
are
certain
gone.
clearance before it goes. And there it goes.
It's crazy.
What's the national median salary for bachelor's degree holders? People are going to be pissed about this.
$70,000.
Hell no.
$70,000. Good guess. Try $47K. That is the national median salary for grads who have between 0 and 5 years of experience after college. So, not only are these graduates overestimating their starting salaries by about $50,000, they're calling it the reality gap. Which is, it's a little funny. Like, I feel bad, but at the same time, it's a bit funny because it's the colleges, man. They just teach you these completely unrealistic expectations. And so people are graduating and they're only making $47K, and now they have to make a living on $47K after they paid, you know, upwards of 6 figures probably to get their college degrees. And then what these numbers are showing is not only that there is a massive reality gap in the first 0 to 5 years, but also when people get into the middle of their mid-career, they're still overestimating what they're going to make by about $15,000, which is significant because the median for that is $61,000 a year. A lot of people believe they're going to make 6 figures if they go to college.
That's about it.
Sure. What's the difference between the MP3 and MP4 files?
Oh, MP3 and MP4 files. Yeah, of course. Well, MP3 files are MPEG audio layer 3, primarily
Wait,
an
are
audio.
you reading this? Please
No.
share your screen.
Oh, sure. Just a second. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. Can you see this?
I can. Go on.
Okay. Well, as I said, MP3 files stands for MPG audio layer
Can't beat
3.
'em, join
It's
'em.
primarily used for audio compression and reduces file size by removing inaudible parts of the audio. MP4 files is a digital.
Mad Dog was the purest NBA guy I've ever met.
Yeah?
He really was. And I had to protect that. Most rookies, when they come in, they go crazy, including me. I went crazy.
So what do you mean you had to protect that?
I had to protect him.
By giving him money for a car?
No, I'm gonna break it down without snitching.
Okay.
There's 12 guys on the team, including Mark. 11 guys are doing what guys with money do.
Sure.
And there's one guy that's not.
Okay.
So when you got 11 guys and you want everybody to be collective, everybody I was one to, nah, Mark ain't doing that. Mark's not doing that at all. Stay away from him. Don't invite him out. Don't be bringing certain people around him. Don't do that. Because he told me, he said, Shay, I don't do that. I don't talk to women. I'm waiting until I get married. It was awesome to hear because I've never heard that before. And I said, okay, so it was my job to protect him. But I still wanted to make him cool, part of the guys, right? Like we have on our $1,000 suits, and Mark, little khakis, little shirt, and I said, Mark, you gotta. So I introduced to the people, hey, this is Mark. Dress him up, boom, 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 and then we're all in Mercedes, Ferraris, Lexuses, Lamborghinis, and Mark is in. I'm like, Mark. So I took him to the dealership. I said, hey, this is Mark. This is what he want. Get him a truck. So because everybody has a truck. So I said, we're gonna get him a Suburban or a Tahoe. Because I just wanted to make him be part of the team, but not really.
Yeah.
So
we started to bond. He ended up taking me car shopping later. He'd take me, to try to replace my wardrobe in LA because I didn't really have the right wardrobe for LA. And Jack's just one of the most generous human beings you'll ever come across in your life.
But he's the purest guy I've ever met in the NBA.
When they remove
oh my God.
The leaded gas, the crime rate falls off a cliff.
That is crazy. Look at this graph. It's almost like it mirrors it.
Yeah, all these graphs look exactly the same. There's like 7 of them.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Okay, so look at this. Go up a little bit first. So murder from 1900 to 1959 versus paint lead. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's correlation. They're almost mirrored.
Yeah.
And then aggravated assault versus gasoline lead. Same thing. It's like they follow the same path. It's nuts. Robbery versus gasoline lead. Look at the drop off with the drop off of gasoline lead. That is nuts.
And it's the same thing with serial killers. The number of serial killers in the 70s and 80s and 90s goes up to the highest that we've seen, about 700 operating in this country during that period.
Tomorrow is the last time we will have a sunset after 8 p.m. until next May. Unfortunately, August 10th is the last time that the sun will set after 8 p.m. And every night until next May, the sun will be setting before 8 p.m., making it much darker, much earlier. As you see, next May 10th, 2026, it will be 8:01 when the sun finally sets. Meaning 9 whole months we will have to have the sun setting before 8 o'clock and it be dark much earlier. Now, obviously, as most of you know, if you live in America, that is because of daylight savings time, unless you live in Hawaii or Arizona because they don't acknowledge it. And daylight savings time lasted this year from March 9th until November 2nd. So November 2nd is when all of our clocks are going to go back an hour. You're going to see the sun setting way earlier. Even before you get out of work at 5 o'clock, it'll be dark. Maybe even whenever you're getting out of football practice or sports after school, it's going to already be dark outside. So please make sure to go out tomorrow and enjoy the last sunset after 8 p.m. for the next 9 months.
Are you guys ready for the fall? How quick did it get here, y'all? It just seems like yesterday was New Year's. It's already going to be fall. Now, I love the fall, but I'm not ready for this cold. This cold where I'm at is a different type of cold. Arizona, it might be 30. It makes the news when it's 30 degrees out here. Overnight, 10 degrees, 30 degrees all day. Arizona be 30 overnight, but 70 during the day. So I do not like this cold, but I do like the fall. I like decorating outside, decorating the inside. You guys ready for fall? Oh, and I like my pumpkin spice.
Do y'all remember the 19-year-old who flew into Antarctica without supposed permission and ended up getting detained? His name is Ethan Guo, and he wanted to fly to all 7 continents solo, being the first person to do so. Ended up landing in Antarctica and getting detained because they said he had no permission to be there. He was detained June 28th and formally charged on July 9th, and a precautionary measure of national confinement was imposed, stating that he needed to be investigated for over 90 days. He has since been in Antarctica, still being held right now, and they say that he has lost over 25 24 pounds. He took his Cessna 182Q, left out of an airport in Punta Arenas, was supposed to fly over the city in Chile, somehow ended up in Antarctica, landed, and they detained him and now have formally charged him. His defense team is stating that they actually have proof now showing that he did not violate any Chilean aviation authority rights. He was actually told and given permission, and he has WhatsApp messages to prove it. However, this is not flying. But the biggest question of it all is, what is going on in Antarctica that they needed to impose this national measure of confinement because they felt as if he had no authority to be there, especially if there's somewhat proof, because they're saying that this whole case of imprisonment is being done falsely because there's no reason as to why he should be held, because he has proof that the aviation authorities sent him messages letting him know that he could land because he allegedly had errors with his plane. Y'all, what is going on in Antarctica? What is happening that they have a 19-year-old who has since lost 24 pounds? Are they not feeding him? What kind of investigations are they doing with this man? What kind of line of questioning is this? This was being reported by Fox 10 News. There are other media outlets also reporting on this. If you have not heard about this, save this video, share this video, go look into it, come back, let me know what you think. And if you have, how insane is this? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is a 19-year-old kid with just a dream of flying to every continent, going to different countries, just making a new world record. And instead, he lands in Antarctica, and now he's still being detained from June 28th. We are in August. Drop your thoughts. Whatever else comes out, I'll be back with another update. Per usual, this is all alleged. Can't confirm or deny the facts based on my personal opinions and things that I'm seeing online. Like, follow, stay for some more.
Did y'all hear about all of the women and children that were raped and decapitated in a Superdome during Hurricane Katrina? Yes, and a lot of these crimes that were committed were by people that were not originally criminals before the hurricane hit. Like, y'all be side-eyeing people that's in prison, but it's a lot of people walking the streets that have sick, twisted things in their mind, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. And the guards were checking the women when they came into the Superdome to make sure they didn't have any weapons on them, and a lot of them didn't have anything. But my thing is, if you're gonna remove my weapons, take my weapons, make sure I don't have anything, you need to be protecting me as well. Like, y'all wanted these people to get hurt. I'm talking about kids were not even safe going to the bathroom. Like, it was morbid. Then they were storing all of the unalived and, decapitated bodies inside of the freezer, and then sat up here and lied to us. A lot of the people that were running the Superdome said that a lot of the unalivings that happened there were not crime related. Why did y'all lie like that? Like, women and children being raped and decapitated, how was that not crime related? They definitely didn't pass away from the hurricane. Like, y'all are sick. These people were in a state of crisis and y'all took advantage of them. Like, sick. Beautiful.
You see what they do? You see what they do with these documentaries? They wait 20 years. They've known this, but they wait 20 years to tell us, and then nobody cares. They get away with it. Nobody cares. Right? Just like JFK. We're going to release the files. They release the files. Guess what? Nobody cares, which is crazy because the government did that. Just like 9/11. 20, 30 years from now, they're going to say it was an inside job. Guess what? Nobody's going to care. They just wait, for the storm to settle. They put a documentary out, say all these crazy things that were happening, and nobody cares. There's no breaking news about this. There's no investigation into this. There's no nothing. Back to work, regular day. Shutting down Washington, D.C. Breaking news. It's crazy how they play us, y'all. They just play us.
Look at this. There's when you, there's the big toe, and the other four toes, down to the small toe, down to the heel. What's fascinating about this is anybody that does a study of this will know there's this piece sticking out here. It's like when you put your foot in mud and you pull it out, your toes will lift up the little mud where your toes were. That's exactly what seems to have happened here. This rough granite is just pulled up. This overhang here. It's spectacular. And I see that people have been visiting here because they've been leaving little coins here. It's wonderful. Maybe just compress that and share.
Hey, so tomorrow's when it all changes. It starts in D.C. tomorrow. That's the first city that he takes over. The curfew. There's a curfew in D.C. now, by the way. Citywide curfew starting at one time. There's like a juvenile curfew. This is the federal takeover. This is it. So, come and take it.
Biggie was my favorite rapper, but now that I know that he worshiped the devil and that God was not pleased with him, I can't listen to him no more. Like, now that I listen to his songs after hearing what I've heard about him being in hell and him worshiping the devil, I can hear it in his music now. Like, I can't even listen to Biggie no more. Like, it's so many rappers that have sold their soul, and we have to be cautious of that, and we have to be cautious of what we listen to and what we allow our kids to listen to. What y'all think about that?
I got so many questions for this lady who went to hell and saw Biggie, because, like, number one, why the fuck is you in hell? I think that's just, like, the number one overall question that niggas can think of. Two, like, is hell segregated? Because all you niggas who go to hell and have these, like, picture-perfect memorabilia moments and remember the whole experience, you never see Richard Nixon, niggas never see Jeffrey Dahmer, niggas only...
Well, I think she went to hell because didn't she say she tried to off herself like 3 times or whatever? And then maybe she's only seeing Biggie Smalls, maybe because that was her hero growing up or something, right? You know, not going to show me somebody that I don't even think about, right? Why are they going to show me, I don't know, somebody that I don't even know who it is in hell? They're going to show me something that's going to make my eyes open that I'm going to remember. That way, you know, I change my life or whatever. That's what I'm thinking. But people don't think like that. You know what I mean? People don't think like that.
You see Biggie Smalls pop.
He's a Biggie fan.
Like, what the fuck? It's just always this religious ass fear mongering shit when it comes to fucking Christianity, and that shit is so.
He's got him. Biggie's got him.
Like, niggas is tired of hearing that shit, bro. Nobody, if either niggas is gonna believe or they ain't, bro, and keep it pushing. This is not motherfucking like. What do y'all think this is, bro? You is not finna scary story and with a campfire at the middle of the woods and shit, a nigga end up believing into some shit, bro. Either they are or they aren't. Like, why is hell always full of niggas? The same thing when niggas get a couple dollars. Oh, he in the Illuminati. A nigga can't get a couple dollars? Shit.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor. And worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get... you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now.
What do you guys think of all this? What do you guys think about this? I get told I'm too political. I don't post too much political stuff. I post one thing about Trump and I become political. You know what I mean? So people just worship the ground this guy walks on. But what do you guys think? I think it's getting kind of annoying, y'all. I'm going to be honest with you guys, right? I was leaning him. I wanted him to win. I wanted all that. Now, I don't want the other side to win. I'll tell you that. But some of this stuff that's going on, y'all, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down below.
moving in to crush these protests.
DC is now under military occupation, with Trump saying he's coming for Chicago and New York next, which has prompted many Americans to say these are the moves of a dictator. Now, as far as what we're seeing, he's activated 800 National Guard soldiers to occupy DC. He's also taken control over the DC Metropolitan Police. You've got Trump saying that he'll be targeting homeless people and what he called bloodthirsty criminals. Trump also saying if you do so much as touch or even think about destroying a statue or monument in Washington, D.C., you go to jail for 10 years. With many saying this is the first time a U.S. president has advocated for jailing Americans for simply thinking and having thoughts. You also had Trump saying that DC is like Baghdad, but also keep in mind crime's actually down in DC. In fact, not only has it been down for 2 years, crime's been going down across the United States for 2 years now. I mean, arguably, if crime increased in DC in 2025, it would be because he moved there. And as far as what we're seeing now, you have many saying, you know, just like he did in Los Angeles, you have Trump creating a fake crisis, and now he's seeking to solve his fake crisis by using the military on civilians. All while you have Governor J.B. Pritzker responding to Trump's threats to Chicago, saying, let's not lie to the public. You and I both know you have no authority to take over Chicago. By the way, where are the Epstein files? And that is Governor Gavin Newsom saying he was just getting warmed up in Los Angeles. He will gaslight his way into militarizing any city he wants in America. This is what dictators do, right? And all of this is you had Dan Carlin, the host of the largest history podcast in the world, saying today. Those of you who don't know what authoritarianism looks like, this is it. And this isn't partisan. This is the time for choosing. Do you support the constitutional republic or this one person? If you don't see it, it's either because you are so blinded by your own partisanship and brainwashing, or it's because you've wanted a dictator all along. But hey, while you can, follow to stay in the loop.
So what
do you guys think, y'all? I mean, remember in 2020 how we were so pissed off about, you know, curfews, and like he's setting a curfew over there in Washington, D.C., but I mean, what about the people that are law-abiding citizens? You know, that go to work every day, pay their taxes. They just want to go, you know, walk to the diner down the street at 12 o'clock at night to get some food. You know what I mean? Take his girl out. She works midnight shift. You know, let's walk to the diner down the street and let's get some food. Let's get some eggs and bacon and some coffee. Can't do that. It's a curfew. You know, like how pissed off would you guys? People that are writing comments right now, how would you like this in your city? How would you like it? Would you be okay with it? Hey, he's getting rid of crime. I don't commit crime, but he's shutting our city down. He's putting all these National Guards out here. I'm a law-abiding citizen, but the guy down the street smokes weed and listens to music loud, and you know he's causing trouble. So we got to shut it down for everybody to deal with him. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because you guys are very sensitive, but
do you think are
crazy.
out there that
It's crazy
are currently listed as extinct but might still be out there?
Dude, we have a list, my team and I, of probably around 1,200 species that we think have the potential to still be out there that are declared extinct or missing. And of those 1,200, there's like 8 of them that I'd say I'm almost positive are still out there. Like 8 of them that I'd say I'm almost positive are still out there.
And what does that process look like as you try to like actually go find one?
It's all dependent on the creature, because that's the cool thing about animals and conservation. There is no blanket approach. You can look at certain variables like, is there sufficient habitat? Is it protected? Is there prey species? When was the last time it was seen? Who's reporting it? Who declared it extinct? Why was it declared extinct? All these various factors. And then you can start to sort of paint a picture of, well, wait a minute. That was just some British dude who went there 70 years ago who said it was extinct because he didn't find it after smoking cigars for 10 days in the jungle. You know, I'm exaggerating, but like you can kind of like start to paint this picture and just go, wait a minute, this is human arrogance that is declared this way, and it might not be true. So we go and launch these super cool expeditions. And I'm leaving for the first one I've done in a long time, extinct animal expedition in Borneo in November, which I'm really excited about.
There's a place called Moundville. It's essentially pyramids in Tuscaloosa. That's called Moundville.
It's an amazing area. I want to go visit it myself. A few weeks ago, I made a post about it, I think on one of the social medias and stuff. I think it was maybe Twitter. But Moundville is like, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's pyramids. It's a ton of them. I don't know how many there are, but there's like at least like what, 15, 20 of them.
There's like a cave system underneath it too.
Really?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
I didn't go to those. There's a place in Greenville, Mississippi, which is also third, that's called Winterville Mounds. And I walked out there and I was like the only one there. And it was just like that, like these are pyramids.
So you're saying you just walked right out to them?
Yeah, they were roped off. Like you can't just walk on top of them and stuff.
But you did anyway.
There were little small ones that I guess you could. No, I didn't walk on top of them. I was trying to be respectful. First of all, I don't want no bad juju. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want no spirits to come.
I'm the guy that's just like, oh, let's just go walk on and see what happens.
No, you can
what was it called?
The Winterville Mounds.
Winterville Mounds.
Yeah, I got pictures I can show you on my phone that are up. You know, I say up close and personal, but
dang, those are pyramids.
Those are pyramids, dude.
Those are pyramids.
There's even the things on the. They describe it as somebody's house, but it looks like a pyramid. Except it doesn't have the top, but it looks like the stuff you see in, you know, Teotihuacan or wherever else.
I bet you if you excavated it, it's like a whole structure.
I'm sure they did something, but you know, we won't know. All these places are protected, but there's places like that all across the United States, man. And if you move across the 33rd to Arkansas, you get the Fouke monster, which is like a Bigfoot in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Right. If you move across to Dallas, Texas, that's where Kennedy was assassinated on the 33rd parallel underneath the 33rd overpass, I believe. I don't know. I can't remember exactly.
Really?
Yeah. You also have a little town called Rockwall, Texas, which is where Alex Jones is from. And there's a giant rock wall that's there, and they found a giant's skull there. So it's well known for not only birthing, I guess, Alex Jones, but also having giant skulls.
This is little known information. You got to be home. You had to live homeless to really understand what I'm telling you right now. You'll look at a homeless shelter and ask, why is it at 60% capacity? Why is it at 70% capacity? Why isn't it full?
Right.
Why would you rather sleep on the street? It's a couple things. One, it can come with rules. They got to check in. You got to be in at 7 p.m. They're like, man, I don't want to check in at 7 p.m. You know, so that's one of the things. But the second thing is this. Let's just say, for the simple fact of easily being understood, let's say this homeless shelter, let's say me and you is homeless, right? You got your girl, I got my girls, and it got 4 beds. So I get in there, and I make sure you get in there, your girl get in there, my girl get in there. So we fill it. Now it's at 100% occupancy. All right. Tomorrow comes, I get in there, my girl get in there, your girl get in, and you running late, and then somebody else beat you to the spot. Right.
Right.
So now you out on the street while your girl is in there, I'm in there, and my girl in there.
Right.
You know what us 3 do to the guy that's in your spot?
No.
We're willing to antagonize him, beat him up, whatever.
Right.
Don't take Ben's spot ever again.
Right.
So now he doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's just us 4 in there consistently. So what happens when you don't show up? I don't show up. Now it's 50% occupied. Right. My girl's in there. Your girl's in there. So now you're dealing with a system that might say from here on out, Ben is no longer coming. You know, let's say you decided you moved up. So now we got 3, me, your girl, and my girls living in this homeless shelter, but we got an empty bed. Now we can decide who's going to stay in, and we going to charge rent.
Right.
Right? That's crazy.
Shit, it's like
now,
the prison
homeless
system,
shelter,
bro.
they won't know. They just don't know why their occupancy is low. But now we're going to charge rent. Us 3 is ganging up to say, if you want a bed, you're going to give us $10.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not paying you. This is okay. Then I'll see you outside.
Right.
See how that's going to work out. Let me go ahead and get out here early. See how that's going. See if you come here again and get this bed. You get what I'm saying?
It's like, dude, I've been stung by bullet ants like 8 times. They hurt. They suck. But I found a caterpillar that was like, I don't know, again, maybe like 2 Zippos. And I had it on a leaf, and I was trying to put it in a terrarium, and the leaf like bent under the way. It was like yellow. It kind of looked like Trump's hair, and it like fell on my hand, and I was plunged into immediate like electroshock, like pain waves, way worse than a bullet ant, way worse. Whatever this caterpillar did to me fucked me up for days. Wow, it was horrible.
I never thought I would see the day that my city is running out of water. We found one location with water and everywhere's running out, y'all. No. Get this. You don't have one? You're gonna be coming home so later.
What are we gonna do when this hits across America?
Something's going down in Nebraska. Just disclaimer, scroll if you have a seizure disorder or sensitivity to flashing lights.
This is not time-lapse, manipulated video. This is actually live right now. The camera every once in a while moving around too, but that is a lot of lightning. And that's been happening, accompanying.
Listen, this is what I was talking about on my update last night. Every fucking state has reported lightning like this. Mostly purple lightning. I don't know if that was like purple and maybe the color was off from the blurry video, but yeah, that's the worst I've seen it. That's even worse than Orlando, Florida at this point. I'm telling you. Between this and the weird cloud formations. Bro, keep sending me more shit. Oh my God. I love it. I love it.
In all my time on this planet, I have never saw this many floods happen back to back. So in India, a village just got dismantled from a flood. And they're claiming this flood happened because of a cloudburst. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. Look at how that water is coming down. And when I say the whole town might be gone, the whole town may be gone. Have you ever seen anything like this? And they're saying that happened from something called a cloudburst, which I've never heard of before. So I had to jump down that rabbit hole and see exactly what that was. And let me tell you this, that shit is scary. Matter of fact, look at this.
This
Listen
isn't a
to
harmless
this right
drizzle,
here.
it's a cloudburst. Where
This
the
is
sky
a
dumps
cloudburst.
thousands of liters of water in seconds. These storms are so powerful they can wipe out roads,
This shit is
destroy
crazy.
houses, and sweep away anything in their path.
So from this disaster, they're saying at least 50 people are missing. But it might be more than that. You saw the video, and you saw how all of that water took away all of those houses. Now tell me if you ever seen anything like that before. Tell me if you've seen a whole village get swept away before. I'll wait. And again, this is another flood to add on the floods that just happened. What's going on? What is God trying to say? I'm out.
Like there's alligators on drugs. You know, when I say there's fentanyl in the water, I mean that literally. There's actually a thing called like they're like meth gators, and like they're saying they're not just meth, but what they call it that. And because people are in Florida, there's such a high level of like drugs being dumped into the toilet system, to the sewers, on the street, that literally the alligators taste the water and they're on drugs. Like there's alligators on drugs. They're doing what's it called when you die and they examine
Autopsies?
the body? Autopsies on these alligators. And they're finding high levels of drugs in a lot of alligators, and it sounds crazy, but they'll be like they'll get like dehydrated and just dry out like in a weird place, and that's why they start to the conservationists, they're gonna go check, why is this alligator 20 miles from the water? He should be by the water. It's because he's high out of his mind and he's dehydrated because he's on Molly. Like everybody else would dehydrate if you're on Molly. But yeah, so shit like that, it's like actually real. They're on drugs out there. So, but random fact again, you learn something new every.
Peacock prices going up? Nope. I literally am about to go in the grocery store and I opened my phone, logged in, and canceled Peacock. I'm going home and I'm also going to cancel Spotify and Hulu because you can't do it from your phone. You can only do it from a desktop computer. So, see you later, apps. I'm so over it.
Around this area here.
Yeah.
is where it begins to start getting bad. You have to be careful.
So the further we get down this road, the worse it gets.
The further we get, the worse it gets. On this intersection here, it's a little bit rough.
It does look pretty sketch up here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This whole area now, don't walk around this area because somebody may bother you. It's right there. 1, 2, 3, 6. There it is.
It's that one there.
Yeah.
This looks a lovely area. Look at the tattoo parlor there. This is it.
Do you want to take a look? Do you want to leave that here?
No, it's all good. I'll be fine.
I'm afraid somebody will take that out of your hands. Do you want me to wait for you?
No, it's all good. I should be fine. But thank you so much for the offer. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. If you feel afraid, go over to that wedding chapel and answer the call. You get in here, but at least in there you're safe. They're good people in there.
Yeah,
so just
perfect.
Walk to that wedding chapel.
Okay, perfect. I'll head over there. Paul, thanks so much, mate. It's a pleasure. Enjoy your day off tomorrow, Paul. I will. See you later, mate. What a top bloke. Right, here we are.
So I've been seeing all over my For You page how Mountain Valley spring water is toxic now and we can't trust it anymore. So I'm sending them back, or I'm going to try to send them back, but tell me why this bottle is yellow. Like, why is the water yellow? I want to have someone test this so badly. Just this one.
Class
Look at that. That's disgusting. What is happening? Someone tell me if you've had the same thing happen to you. This is so gross.
Research with rats suggests this, that even like say putting a rat on nicotine will make just this random like house light, like a red light coming on, like more rewarding. They'll press a bar to get that red light to come on more so after nicotine. Not because the light signals the delivery of nicotine, just because just seeing a red light is cooler when you're on nicotine. So which kind of explains why this drug is so addictive, but it doesn't make you high. Because it kind of makes just subtly the world becomes more rewarding. You know, people are kind of opens aperture a little bit.
Yes.
And everything else becomes a little tuned in. And it's working through that acetylcholine system, which has a big role in focus. You know, what do people talk about with, smoking, oh, it's great after a meal or before a meal, and the classic, like a cigarette after, and like it, and then like with work, making things like writing paper, the great writers, smoking away, skipping lunch and just smoking.
The fact that Roblox is allegedly sending out cease and desist letters to individuals that are catching predators online and sending them to the authorities to arrest is wild to me. Yeah, you heard that right. This young man allegedly turned in 6 individuals or 6 predators into the authorities and got them arrested. And Roblox allegedly sent him a cease and desist letter. In his video, he specifically talks about a room called the XYZ room, where it's pretty much like a predator's lounge. Specifically stating that the characters walk around butt naked, using the bathroom in front of each other, taking showers with each other, and just doing crazy stuff inside this room. I even watched another creator about a week ago talk about how she found her son in a room where there were 2 individuals or 2 characters inside or in the bed with each other doing some crazy shit. Now, for Roblox to condone this type of stuff, we as parents have to do something about this and get this app taken down, because we have a lot of people that want to see harm done to our children. We have apps like this where grown men are just sitting in the basement of their parents' house and eating Cheetos and wiping their Cheetos on their whitey-tighties and thinking about crazy stuff about our kids. So if this is actually true and Roblox did indeed send him a cease and desist letter, that shows you where their priorities lie, and we have to shut this shit down. Like I said from the beginning, this is all alleged, but I believe the young man. If they are sending out these cease and desist letters to stop crime happening on their app, we got to get rid of the apps.
These inner Earth civilizations have been here always. In fact, they were the remnant survivors of ancient advanced civilizations. And they're still around, and they're living for thousands of years. Yeah. And they are a type of extraterrestrial race. Actually, there are multiple of them. There are different types of extraterrestrials that live within the inner Earth that used to exist on the surface world during the days of Atlantis, during the days of Lemuria. And of course, due to the demise and the cataclysms that took place due to the war between the two Anunnaki factions, some of the survivors had to preserve their existence in the inner earth because they knew that the dark forces corrupted and took over the surface world. Wow. But they were only given a limited time. And that explains why we are now in the Great Awakening. That explains why we are now living in a time where we're going to be witnessing a huge shift in human consciousness that is going to totally change everything for the better. Exciting.
There is a really interesting place in Nevada, deep in the desert, called Devil's Hole. And no, I'm not talking about your ex-wife. This is Devil's Hole in Death Valley, Nevada. And this is a very strange aquifer with chambers that go so deep that they've only been measured up to 1,200 feet, and they don't know how far down it goes. There have been divers that have gone down and tried to survey these caves, and there's been recreational divers that have gone down in here. And some of the ones that went down into the deepest chambers, they encountered a current that sucked them in, and they went missing and were never recovered, and they haven't figured out how far down this cave actually goes. But one thing is really interesting. Even though this Devil's Hole is in Nevada, when there's earthquakes in Japan, in Mexico, and in Chile, the water in Devil's Hole splashes around, and sometimes it splashes up to 6.5 feet out of the hole. Devil's Hole is also home to one of the most rare fish on Earth, the pupfish, and nobody even knows how it got there. But they're blue and they're cute, and I think they're really cool. I think it's fascinating that there's an aquifer in Nevada that sloshes around when there's earthquakes all the way over in Japan. I also think it's fascinating that there's naval bases in the middle of Nevada, and people swear that they've seen submarines in the middle of the desert in Nevada that maybe go all the way under these aquifer systems all the way out the coast of California. So who knows what could be underground, if it's out there by Area 51, or if these aquifers connect, or how deep they go. They've never actually reached the bottom, so who knows? What do you think?
Interesting. It was going to tell me that if you applied for too many jobs in Indeed, they send the employers, every time you fill out an application, how many jobs you've applied to, and then they literally will just not go with you in the next round of interviews, because if you applied for too many, they think you don't want to work for them hard enough. So we're damned if we're do, and we're damned if we're not. If we keep trying to find a job, but if we try too hard, we can't. Like, we're desperate, or we're not trustworthy. But if we try too little, we're also not doing a good enough job and should try harder. I make good money, but I hate the place I work at, and I have the experience. So I'm trying to go to the exact same job in a different company, and I can't do that because apparently I have sent too many applications in.
That sucks.
And you know why I sent too many applications in? Because a lot of these are just companies putting the post online and not actually wanting to hire anybody. So I'm taking my chances with any company and seeing which one would give me the best offer. But oh no, we're not allowed to do that anymore, because they don't want you hopping around and looking for a place that'll give you the best offer. That is what they're doing. Thank you, Indeed. I appreciate that. Don't trust nobody.
If this is true, this is super alarming.
Over 11,000 English nouns dropped in usage by more than 80%. Between October 2023 and February 2024, the theory is whatever powers that be and AI, they are purposely making words disappear. It's functional vocabulary. And so some of the examples that they gave were terms connected to boundary setting, identity, and memory recall. And once a word falls below 2% of network visibility, it triggers the vanishing word protocol. Reclassify it, downrank it, replace it, not delete it, just less shown, less spoken, until one day you reach for a word like integrity and it's no longer in your mouth or your feed or in your memory.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, but what I found interesting was in the book 1984 by George Orwell, explored the concept of eliminating words through the invention of newspeak, the official language of the totalitarian regime. Orwell's big idea was by eliminating words, you eliminate concepts. No words for freedom, then freedom itself becomes a foreign, even unthinkable idea.
Oh my gosh, this is what I've been saying. The ability to be literate and articulate yourself opens the door for anything. You could do anything or be anyone.
Yeah.
Words are everything.
Yeah.
This is so scary.
What makes this particularly interesting is I had a little conversation with ChatGPT, and I got it to admit that this is actually part of its programming, is to eliminate these words from our vocabulary. What words specifically? I mean, I had it tell me words like man, woman, father,
figures,
mother, sin, and even Jesus. Why? Let me know what you think in the comments.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Hour and 10 minutes for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Gotta do a little editing. Might be a little under an hour and 10, but it's early, y'all. It's early. I don't have the baby today. I gotta go get some groceries. Gotta get the dog some dog food. Gotta do some returns. But I got all day to do that. Gonna have me some breakfast before I head out. It's gonna be a good Tuesday, y'all. Hope everyone out there had a good Tuesday, had a good Monday. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. You know when I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Later.